Hello everybody, my name is Pravus and welcome to Imperator Rome. Yes indeed, we are back with this, and a big thank you to Paradox Interactive for sponsoring today's video and tempting me to come out of my vacation just a little bit early to celebrate the release of version 2.0. This is a free major overhaul for some core mechanics for Imperator, and I am delighted to show it off for you guys today. Now, I don't think it's any secret that when Imperator first released, it got a bit of a mixed reception. I think the general consensus from the community was that all the framework is there for Paradox to create a fantastic game. It just needs a bit more time. Well, since then, Paradox has not disappointed. They have released several free major patches that have overhauled almost every mechanic of the game to some extent. It looks radically different now than it did at release, and this all culminates with version 2.0. So if you're one of those people that bought Imperator, then put it on the back burner to wait and see what Paradox was going to do with it, I would say this is the perfect time to pick it back up, try it out, and see if you like the direction this game has been going. And the best part is, like 95% of the changes you're going to see today are all completely free. No DLC is required to enjoy the game in its current state, which is awesome. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't any DLCs. We did get some content packs to give a little extra flavor and missions to different nations. Rome and Carthage got a free content pack, then we saw Syracuse and some Greek republics, etc. Well, the latest DLC, also releasing today alongside the free patch, is called The Heirs of Alexander, and it is a Diadochi-themed content pack, giving you extra missions and content for Macedon, Thrace, Phrygia, now called the Antagonid Kingdom, the Seleucid Empire, and Egypt. Let's go ahead and play with Egypt, because while they are one of the easier nations, they do have a lot of the stuff I want to show off for you guys today. Now, I'm not going to show you every single new mechanic in the game. It would take me 2 hours to do so, and this wouldn't be very fun. So we're going to play the game, but I do want to highlight a few major changes first, if that's okay. First off, let's note, the UI is completely different. Yep, Paradox was listening to the community, they heard a lot of complaints, so they redid everything. New menus, new tabs, very intuitive way to navigate around the game. It is a lot better. Plus, we have an outliner to easily locate some different armies and navies, disloyal characters, construction projects, etc. Pretty cool stuff. Now, a while back, Paradox did overhaul, let's say, the religion system. We do have a pantheon with different gods that we can invoke their different omens, plus some holy sites, which is pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and change this up to raw to get another holy site active so we can open up some altars with treasures for different national bonuses. But they also changed up the culture system. Now, it used to be that you had to assimilate every culture in the game if you wanted to have the maximum benefit, right? But that changed a while back to become a multicultural system. Now you have your primary culture, but by extending different rights and citizenship to other culture types, you can integrate them, and you'll no longer assimilate, but you will get at least some, if not all, of the benefit of having those cultures in your empire. Very, very powerful mechanic. Egypt is a great example of this. We were conquered by Alexander the Great, so we're ruled by Macedonians, hence why they are my primary culture, but most of the population is Baharic, but they start off integrated with citizenship status, so they aren't going to cause as much issue when we get a lot of benefit out of 788 pops. Really cool system, I liked that a lot. This is relevant, though, for the changes in version 2.0, because the biggest change that everyone's looking forward to in this version is a complete overhaul of our military system. You may notice that big, powerful Egypt only has 5,000 troops in a standing army, which is way lower than you might have expected. But that's because we are navigating away from the Europa Universalis style of standing armies to a levy system, kind of like what you would find in Crusader Kings 2. Here it is right here. So every region of the world can provide levies to their respective empires based on the number of integrated culture pops that are in that region. So in Lower Egypt, where most of my Macedonian and Baharic pops are living, we could raise up 37 of them, right? 37 pops will take up arms and go and fight in my armies when we're at war, which is a really, really cool mechanic for a lot of different reasons. First off, it creates a sort of force limit based on the size of your population that will determine how many troops you are going to have access to. It also means that pops are going to be at risk whenever you go to war. They're not working when they are taking up arms and fighting, but if they die and you get routed, you could lose a lot of pops, so that's actually really important, and pops are more precious than ever. But here's another really cool little twist. The types of pops that are risen up are going to determine what kind of army composition you'll have access to. Culture will determine some unit types. For example, Macedonians, Baharic get lots of cavalry, camels, light infantry. If we were playing as the Scythians, though, we might get a lot of horse archers. So each culture is going to have a slightly different army composition. Also, the ranking of the pops can determine what you will gain. So, rich pops, nobles, and citizens might produce heavy infantry or heavy cavalry, whereas tribesmen or freemen might only give you light cavalry. So, the types of demographics in your empire are really important for your levy system. Really, really cool change, a huge meta shift for a lot of empires. But that doesn't mean we don't have any standing armies at all. We have legions. Legions require special laws to access, but they work just like before. You will spend manpower and a monthly maintenance cost in order to have a free roaming army that you can directly control and have them ready at your beck and call the second a war breaks out. We can also edit up the composition to whatever we want. For example, maybe I want to add on the brand new engineering cohort, which is good when you're crossing rivers or taking on cities. So let's go ahead and buy one of those, and that gets added on to our legion. Pretty awesome. Now, there are some laws required, as I said. If we take a look right over here, we have to have military reforms. I think almost every nation in the game only has access to levies at the beginning, and the Diadochi are the only exception to that. They have access to Royal Guard, which lets me raise up legions only in the capital region to start. Eventually, we can unlock new laws to build up legions in any province that we own. How do you access some of these new laws? Well, that's a great segue into the brand new technology system. Look at this. Yeah, we get ourselves a tech tree that we can work down. So inventions have been completely reworked in terms of martial, civic, oratory, and religious advances, and there is a lot to choose from. You no longer just spend money to buy as many inventions as you can per tech level. Now you have a system called innovations. And innovations are one free invention, whichever one you want, in any order you want, totally up to you. You gain more of these by leveling up your tech. So leveling up tech is still extremely important if you want to get a lot of these, but this gives you so much customization as far as how you want to build up your nation. For example, I know that I have a lot of trouble, often, with sieging things down, right? So let's say I want to go for army weight modifier to save on some supply, and then I want to spend another point to get sapping for some siege engineers. Okay, cool, we just did that, spent 2 innovations. I could continue down this and get, let's say, assault ability, plus some more siege ability, plus siege ramps to reduce attrition, and more. I could go as far down this as I have points for. Pretty darn cool, but I would do so by neglecting all my other options. Let's say that I wanted to get import value for some extra taxes and extra money. Let's say I want to get some extra citizen output so I can get more research points and money coming out of them, right? Lots of different options for how you want to build up your nation. So this adds a load of customization based on playstyle and what you think your nation's going to need. I like this system a lot. What else am I going to get here? Let's go ahead and grab an extra capital import route. I think that's helpful. We don't need aggressive expansion or diplomatic reputation yet. Due process would be fine for some monthly ruler popularity gain. And beyond that, let's go for the Code of Rights for Freeman output, since Freeman now actually give a little bit of money. And we could go for pop promotion speed, but I'll hold off on that for a moment. Let's also pick up the military artisans to get a free provincial investment in my capital. There we go. All right, I've spent up all my points, and now I have to wait until we get some more tech. But that's a really, really cool change. Let's actually go ahead and go to Alexandria here, and I'm going to go ahead and do some business development using my free investment to get another import route. I find these are always great. You like being able to trade for lots of national benefits. Okay, now alongside the invention changes, we also got an update to military traditions. These actually have a similar tech tree style. Here's something kind of cool, though. These are entirely culturally based, right? Just like before. So as a Macedonian primary culture, we have access to both Greek traditions at the beginning of the game. But because we've integrated the Baharic culture, we also have access to Levantine kingdom traditions, or however you say that. So depending on what cultures you want to integrate, you can access different talent systems and spend your military experience. So you can really build up your nation in different ways depending on how you want to play the game. Really, really cool stuff. There are a lot of other changes, but I'm going to go ahead and start actually playing the game because it's been like 9 minutes, and I'm sure you guys would like to actually see some content. So let's go ahead and start moving these guys over here because I know I'm going to go to war against the antagonists relatively soon. Because, well, they tend to get ganged up on really early in the game in this latest patch. Now, we do have a unique mission system for Egypt with the DLC only, right? This is not... I mean, everyone has missions, but this DLC is what gives unique flavor to Egypt specifically. We have the Greater Empire to conquer Nubia and Cyrenaica over here. We have the eastern border to go for Judea and Palestine. We can stabilize and grow the infrastructure of Upper Egypt, which mostly comes down to building some cities and a lot of farms and mines. And then we have the Macedonian Pharaoh, where we try to actually make ourselves more popular and impose ourselves as divine characters. Pretty cool. We're going to go for the eastern border, though, because I like conquest. Conquest and blobbing is fun. Let's go ahead and take a look at some trade routes over here. Now, what could I want? Let's see. Vegetables, precious metals, iron. Probably precious metals, because happier citizens could result in extra tech points. So let's go ahead and trade internally for a little bit of extra money there. That will be good. We do have a title unassigned. Statesmanship got rebalanced a little bit. It's more important than ever, so having a good statesmanship character in a position is really important. Sometimes, though, you'll want to start with a character who's young and give them plenty of time to build up more of that statesmanship, so we could do that. I would be tempted to do this, but I don't want to make this family too powerful, and I want more skill. We're going to go for you. I think you're going to be doing just fine and dandy. Thank you very much. Okay. Omens, I'm going to go ahead and invoke Alexander the Great, because you can deify characters now. I think that's going to be helpful. There is another change that has been introduced in the DLC, not available for everyone, and that is a system called Great Wonders, which is something we're actually going to be seeing in EU4 relatively soon as well. It seems like Paradox is introducing this to a lot of games. Egypt has one of these wonders at the beginning of the game, the Pyramids of Giza. You can see this right here. And it gives subject relation traditions for more tribute and more loyalty from my subjects. It is a stone structure primarily, so it started off with a relatively low prestige value, but as it ages, it will grow more and more powerful and unlock new benefits. So old, powerful, and rich monuments are going to be extremely valuable and worth capturing from your enemies if you can. You can construct your own, though. So let's go over here to buildings and take a look at Great Wonders, and here it is. So if you want to have, let's say, a tower, a building, or a pyramid, you can change up what it's going to look like, kind of like so, and you can change up the starting materials if you want, and that does cost a lot of money. I mean, like, just this alone is going to cost 8,000 gold, right? And we need access to different resources, and it will take forever depending on who your constructor is. But more valuable resources at the beginning of the construction will result in a higher starting prestige value. So depending on what you want to invest, this could be kind of cool. And we do actually have the ability to change up its effects. Let's say I want tax and commerce income. And let's say that I want to have better civic tech investment. You can change all of this up depending on what you want. It's pretty cool. Not absolutely necessary to enjoy the game, I would say, but a pretty nice little feature. I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to shift the meta, if at all. Let's go to speed 5, because I am waiting for the antagonists to get attacked. Now, I'm getting a little annoyed by all the trade offers here. We can change that, though. We will just accept all trade offers as long as we do not trade away our capital surplus. That's fine with me. But let's say I wanted to go a step further than this. This is another change. Let's go to the nation overview and administration. We're going to look at our governorships. And I want to control the trade of my capital region because that's where I get the national bonuses. But everything else, I don't really care. As long as they are getting enough food, all I want is money, at least for now, right? So I can actually turn on automatic trade for all of this, which is really, really nice. I'll leave the Western Delta, but everything else the governor will take care of for me. They're going to make me as much money as possible. I can just automate this. That's a nice little quality of life change. I like it. Let's go ahead and do that along here, and okay. Now we're going to wait for the antagonists to get attacked. Let me do a quick jump cut. The Wars of the Diadochi has appeared, which means that all of us now have claims on the rest of Alexander's empire, which means basically the antagonists are going to go to war with Macedonia very, very soon. And there it is. Okay, the antagonist kingdom is now at war with Macedon. I'm going to give them a little bit of time to reposition their troops to go and fight over here. They're going to be fighting over Corinth, of course, because they really need to control that if they can. Hopefully they will fail in that, though. Once they are distracted properly and I have reason to believe their troops are all over here, I will launch my own personal assault. Now, while we're waiting for that, let's take a look at a couple of other little changes. Pops, for example, did get a bit of a rework here. They've been rebalanced. As I said, freemen do now produce some money. I don't know if you guys noticed that nobles are a thing now. They are a higher tier of pop that you can keep happy, so that's a thing. Buildings got updated, so no longer can you just spam tons of academies to get, like, I don't know, 60% noble desired ratio, right? You can't quite spam it the same way. There's limits to 3 of certain types of buildings in any given territory to try and force you to play a little bit more balanced and less min-maxy, spammy the citizens kind of playstyle, which is a really cool change to the game. I like that a lot. Civilization value has also been changed. It is always good, even for civilized non-tribal nations, to get more civilization value. Kind of think of it like your infrastructure, your innate infrastructure, roads, plumbing, whatever else it's going to be. This stuff increases the happiness of a lot of your pops, but most importantly, look at that population output. Right now, with our civilization value being as high as it is, we're looking at 61.36 extra population output. That's awesome. We like a lot of this stuff. So civilization value is great. Building almost any type of building is going to increase civilization value. Really cool stuff. All right, do we think enough time has passed at this point? I think it might have. We can certainly give it a shot. So let's go ahead and declare our war against the antagonists. We want to conquer Philistia, I think. That's our neighboring province right over there. They have a lot of allies, but most of them are in Greece, and I can't say that they really concern me all that much. So let's go ahead and give it a go. Boom. Done. And we are going to immediately launch some of our legions into their territory to siege down this fort, which is why having legions is nice, because we don't have to worry about the levies. Let's raise up my army maintenance. Now, levies, of course, they do take some time to raise up and all get to the front line. So we have troops way over here, for example, we've got to move. We've got troops way down over here, for example, we've got to move. This is going to take a little time. That's where legions are nice, because you can do a quick blitz on your opponent. But here's the dominant amount of our troops. We've got 20,000 standing right there, so let's go ahead and get them moving. Actually, you know what? Better call. Let's go ahead and get our fleets out and about, and we are going to transport our troops. I think we can't fit on a single fleet, though, so I need to split these guys in half and move. Now, note something. Our governors are the generals of levies. So not only is a finesse an important skill for good governors, but military skill for generals is very important as well. So be aware of that. You want to actually be paying attention to that stuff now. Civil war is going to break out in a little bit. Ooh, wow, hello. Wasn't expecting any of that. Goodness gracious, why? Let's take a look at our disloyal characters right here and see what's going on. We could grant you a holding, which gets some loyalty, sure, but I'm not sure that's going to do me a lot of good. Let's see. Loyalty is going to gain for a fair bit. Do I want to spend a load of money for you? I don't know about that. Maybe. Free hands. Corruption's going to go up quite a bit if we do this. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really expecting to have this issue. Maybe we can just hold off for a little bit and it's going to be fine. 20 months for a civil war, though. That's pretty huge. Loyalty has been reworked a little bit, so you don't have like just a base value where people are always moving toward 100 loyalty or 0 loyalty. You can actually see exactly the reasons that they're loyal. Kind of like an opinion system in Crusader Kings. They don't like the culture happiness, huh? Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and give some free hands temporarily, and we'll do the same for this guy over here. And this is going to give them some corruption, so we'll want to stop this after a couple years, but for now it should shore up my issues. New military structure. Ooh, make these guys a little bit better. Ooh, but I don't want these guys to become loyal. Be very wary now that we have legions that stand alone and are not part of your levies. It's actually very dangerous for them to become loyal to their general. So I could not do that, but at the same time, I don't want him being disloyal now. We're going to take the risk, but yeah, that's always scary. I don't like it when legions start thinking for themselves. Very scary stuff. All right, let's go ahead and move these guys out over here. We're going to start sieging down some provincial capitals and see what we can take. A plot? Oh, no. Okay, somebody can be imprisoned, or we can lose some legitimacy, or somebody is going to die. My primary heir. You're an okay character. I think we'll go ahead and try to break that off real quick. An unmarried ruler. I seized my wife. Right. Well, that would be a thing, wouldn't it? Lustful and steadfast. Sounds good. We'll just go ahead and marry you. Let's arrange the festivities. We will gain a bit of loyalty for you. Perfect. Thank you. And we're going to go ahead and gently loot some of these provinces because I do intend on conquering this land if I can. Let's move you over to this fort like so. And taking over the capitals is always nice because it does siege down the other nearby territory. Hello, I see that we might actually get into a kerfuffle in just a moment. Let's see if we can catch you. Can we? It looks like we might be able to do that. Let's get into this fight. Make sure that we don't lose any more troops than necessary. Okay, I failed to actually get in there and reinforce, but that's fine. You sit tight. You go back up to this provincial capital. Let's siege all of that down. You guys join in over here. And where are the rest of you? Gosh, they're taking so long. Takes so long. Large, sprawling empires are going to have a hard time taking advantage of all of the levies. Do be aware of that. Let's go ahead and do another jump cut where I am a little bit further in this war. Okay, we are currently sieging down the capital of the Antagonids, which is going to get me a lot of what I want, especially the Philistine area. But Judea and Samaria did not join in on the war, so I'm going to go ahead and attack them in just a little bit. Let's get our troops in position, and we'll just go ahead and systematically start subjugating them. The Egyptian Antagonid War. Oh, good. There's an Antagonid revolt going on as well? Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, but not my problem. We're not worried about any of that at all. I'm actually collecting way more money than I thought I would, too. Oops. I should probably spend some of that, shouldn't I? Yeah, we probably should. Let's start by declaring war here on Samaria, though. Antagonids are their overlords, so they would defend them, but we're already at war, so who cares? Let's go ahead and attack for Galilee. And you guys are going to pop right in over there, except for, let's say, you, who's going to go right over here and siege this down, because this is not part of the same territory. Get you guys in position, and then we probably want to go and take down Judea as well, who I imagine is pretty fun to play still if you want to go for that Kingdom of David run. That sounds pretty exciting. Let's see, we do have peace from Samaria. Nope, I don't think so. That sounds ridiculous. No, 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 no. We'll wait until the siege is about done, then we're going to have all of our troops go for the 2 forts that are in Judea. You want to have peace? Nah, I don't even know who you are. I don't even know who you are. I'm not bothering with that. Oh, you sent some troops after me, did you? Oh, that didn't work. Unfortunately, by losing about 4,000 men, I do believe that I lost a couple of pops. So once the war is over, that's going to suck just a bit. Let the looting be gentle here. I might actually be conquering this for myself in a little bit. By the way, you can build your own ports now. Did you know that? Yep, ports are a thing you can build in your territories, so you can actually have your own. You're not reliant upon the game for that anymore. Kind of a fun little change, huh? All right, you know what? Let's go ahead and have you go clear off these troops real quick, because they're sort of annoying me that they even exist. Here we go, and there we go. Bye. Okay, nice. Now we're just going to go ahead and wait for a little bit longer. And that siege is done, which means we now are free to pretty much run rampant in Judea. Let's do the same thing, declare war along here. I'm going to try to finish up my mission as quickly as we can. Let's send you guys down to both of these forts, like so, and the other army is on its way to clean up any troops. Now, levies do take up your manpower as they reinforce. That is still a thing. You just don't have to pay a monthly maintenance for any levies. Let's see. We could lose a bit of loyalty from a lot of people. That would rather suck. I don't really want to lose any prominence. Who are you? You're a part of another family. Just have him flogged. Could do that. He'll lose a bit of loyalty, or he could become wounded. Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and let's say it's none of their business. Ah, no, we'll figure it out. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right, the sack of a shrine. Oh, no, somebody else sacked one of the holy sites, and as a result, people are peeved. That's not good. Very good way to upset a lot of different nations if you start sacking their religious holy sites. Anyway, looks like the Jews are all dead. It's all right. Just had to happen. Had to happen there. The 120th Olympiad. Ooh, cool. We are going to send somebody who is not important from another family. There you go. Actually, wait, that's 11,000 troops. I don't want to go and fight against this levy. That's going to be a bit much. Let's see if we can quickly run down Judea, though I may want to finish off the Antagonid Kingdom pretty soon and just take whatever I can. We've got 44% war score. I mean, that's pretty decent. 43. Whatever. It's going to be fine, though. It's going to be fine. He is turning his attention on me. Does that mean he finishes war against Macedonia? He did not. We're going to go ahead and sue for peace, though. He's also fighting the Seleucids right now, so that's going to be a bit of a pain for him. Let's take some of this. We're going to take a lot of your coastal territory. I think I covet a lot of this. Let's grab all you. Let's grab your capital, because I can. You'll still accept all this. Perfect. We'll go ahead and grab this, too. And maybe this. Oh, we're going to get a lot of aggressive expansion, but that's okay. We're Egypt. I will do that. And nothing else really matters, I don't think. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot for me to worry about. Let's just go ahead and accept this offer. Thank you. All right, the capital city will be left alone to get some legitimacy. It's already pretty good. We could get Merciful Conqueror, though, or we could start, you know, killing off some pops. And the thing is, as much as I would love money, I don't want to kill off pops. Pops are more important than ever. So we're going to leave it alone. We'll also leave Tyros alone, and we take over all of this stuff. I will also go over here to Samaria and demand all of your territory. You will accept. Thank you. Let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and burn off a little bit of aggressive expansion. Now we're just going to deal with Pyrrhus. Wait, what? What? Pyrrhus? What are you doing in my court? Oh my gosh, I don't know how I got him, but I like this. I like this a lot. Okay, cool. Let's siege down Judea. I do have some governors we're going to need to assign now. Let's go for somebody who's good at military along with everything else. You'll do really good, actually. You got some nice traits. Perfect. Lack of food in Upper Egypt. Oh, lack of food for my units. Yeah, don't forget that food is a thing now before people even start taking attrition, so we may want to cycle some troops out in order to go and replenish themselves elsewhere. Or just, you know, there you go, finish sacking it and take all the food that way. That works. Hello, where'd you come from? Come back here. And there we go, we finished that siege as well. Perfect, I'm just gonna go to Judea. Let's go ahead and just take over everything if you don't mind. Bye-bye. And let's see, we can... Let's see, a city that stands at the forefront, same deal. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and do a protecting hand, and Pyrrhus has moved again. Why? Aw, man, I wanted to keep you. Pyrrhus is a god, practically. I would've deified you. I would've done it. Oh, well. Judean matter is completed, which means a lot of Hebrews are gonna move over to Alexandria and get me some extra research and civ points, which is great. Let's go ahead and do that. If we want to continue, we would have to go for the Judea Pacified mission, which will get all of them up to 100 loyalty. That's the goal. It would be nice, pretty good if you want to start culturally integrating the Hebrews, but not going to worry about that right now. We can, however, build up some more forts in Gaza, and that's not even really a bad idea. So forts have been changed up a little bit. There's actually something called fort infrastructure in a province now, in order to have the capacity to build up your forts. Right now, we're actually over this in this province. But yeah, so every new fort takes up 3 infrastructure, and then every additional level takes another 1. So the reason they did this is so you can't just spam level 1 forts all over the place. Now you actually have some limitations. So what I probably want to do is delete one of these at the very least, get rid of that. Okay, and that should free up some points. Yeah, you can see we got 3 freed up from a level 1 fort. Now we can continue building this up. I need to get this to level 5, apparently. So let's spend some money upgrading that in order to continue with my mission. And no, I don't want to embrace the Kemetic Pantheon, as fun as that sounds. Let's go ahead and disband my levy, like so, and boom, just like that, Egypt has grown. We have taken over a load of territory. The macro builder is still a pretty useful tool, by the way, though I do think it could still use a little bit of extra work to sort things down. Wait a minute, it does. They added this? I didn't even know. They added the ability to sort by what income you would get from things like tax offices. Oh, that's great. I don't have to hunt it down anymore. That makes me so happy. Thank you, Paradox. That's awesome. By the way, I didn't note that Army Experience got a change. So we are gaining some every month simply by having good cohorts and so on and so forth. But also you get some military experience if you are going to disband your levies. As your levies fight, they're going to gain some experience, and then when disbanded, they take that knowledge back home. So fighting with a large army is actually a great way of building up some military experience relatively quickly. By the way, my stability is dropping, and I don't like it. Let's go ahead and stab a little piggy. You can see over here in the outliner, by the way, all the little structures I'm building and stuff. This is pretty darn helpful, so you can just keep track of everything going on in your empire. Certainly do like seeing some of that. What would be one of my next missions? I think my next missions would be, we have to take over Sidon right over here. Hello, Sidon. Hello, how you doing? Do I want to declare war on you? Let's see. You are a vassal of the Antagonids. Are the Antagonids dead yet? Are you still fighting Macedonia? You are still fighting Macedonia. Maybe we just go ahead and attack you and say screw it. Maybe the Antagonids don't defend. We can just take this over. Yeah, why not? We can do this. Let's go and attack again. Ah! Oh, dang it. I actually forgot to take Sidon in the peace deal, like an idiot. Well, I did take some more land away from the Antagonids, which means my font is going to be a lot bigger, so that kind of counts like a win, right? Anyway, so this does give you a good idea as to some of the changes you can look forward to in version 2.0 on top of all of the other changes that have occurred over the past year and a half or so. There's simply too much for me to show you guys, but really, if you have picked up the game during the lunar sale, or maybe you owned it from when it was first released, it's absolutely worth taking a look at it again and seeing if this floats your boat, because I think the game has certainly come a very, very long way and still has some room for opportunity and more growth. I'd like to see a bit more development of diplomacy and colonization, and maybe trade get a little bit of a rework as well. It's functional, but, you know, it'd be kind of cool to see a little bit more. If you guys would like to learn a lot more about all the different changes, I'd highly recommend you take a look at the Dev Diaries. They will be able to give you a lot more information than I can, but I do hope that this video was helpful to those of you who are trying to decide to get back into the game. I obviously recommend it. Thank you all very much for watching. I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.